All right, before you go grocery shopping, I've got the game-changing tip in this video. Stay tuned, and before this video ends, you're gonna know what to do to protect your rights in the event you get injured in a grocery store. In Massachusetts, the case law is very clear. Okay, there's a famous case called the Roach Brothers case, and it outlines what they call the mode of operation. Okay, and that's a fancy way to say the way the store operates determines the rights that you have. Way back in the day, grocery stores used to operate as follows. You used to walk in, they used to assign you an attendant, the attendant would go around and get your groceries for you and bring it to the front, you'd pay, they'd load it into your car, and you'd go, okay? That was a service-oriented store. That model became, ineffective for grocery stores. Profit margins weren't good, they had too many people, they were paying too many salaries, so they went to a different mode of operation. The mode of operation now is, as we all know, it's self-service. You walk in, you get yourself a basket, you get yourself a cart, you go through the aisles, you pick your own groceries, you go to the store, the front of the store, you pay at the register, and you leave, right? For those of us in this generation, and even the generation before us, that is how grocery shopping has been done. But the reason that the famous case, the Roach Brothers case, still is good law in Massachusetts is because if the store owner knows that the mode of operation that they have chosen is self-service, then they know by know or should have known standard in Massachusetts that there are going to be spills, there are going to be things that are left in the ground, that if you go to the produce section, there's going to be grapes that fall or banana peels, that someone's going to drop a thing of oil and it's going to spill on the ground, that the refrigeration devices are going to leak and there's going to be water on the floor, and that there are not store attendants with the people to make sure that they are otherwise safe in the process. So, in Massachusetts, you slipped and fell in a grocery store. This is what's important for you to know. Number one, I hope that your injuries are not too serious, in that they're not life-altering or that they're not life-threatening. But if you are able to, for what condition you are in, please ensure that after the fall, you notify someone from the store, you take the people around you, take their information, use your evidence collecting device that every single one of us has in our pockets these days, your cell phone, take pictures of the defect that you fell on from close up, from far away, etc. The clothes that you're wearing, if they're still wet from whatever substance that you fell in, you'd want to save those in the condition that they're in. The shoes that you're wearing, you want to save those in the condition that they're in. One big mistake that people make when they get into a slip and fall or trip and fall incident, whether it's in a grocery store or not, is that they continue to use their shoes and wear them out and wear them out and wear them out. You have to remember that your shoes, if you slip and fall, something under your feet, your shoes are evidence. So you want those shoes to be in the condition they were in at the time of the incident. If you had a brand new pair of sneakers and you're walking through the aisles and you slip and fall on oil or something or water and you go down, and then after the whole thing happens, you leave the store, let's say you get your medical treatment and you get out, and then you use your sneakers for the next year. Well, now that evidence is affected. You can't show that to a jury and say, look how good a condition my shoes were in. The soles were in good shape. There was good grip on them. You can't do that anymore. Now it's all worn out rubber. So you want to preserve your clothing. You want to preserve your shoes. You don't have to take them off right in the grocery store. That might get you in different kind of legal trouble. But when you get home, best bet is to put the shoes in a plastic bag, seal it, put the date on it that you sealed it, and protect it for your claim. Okay, it seems crazy, but it's very important. The most important thing is that you get witness information from other people in the grocery store aisle where you were injured, and that you get photographs of the defect that you fell on. I can promise you 2-3 years down the road, those grocery stores in Massachusetts, they are gonna fight you pretty hard on what you actually fell on what the condition of your shoes were, on whether it was witnessed or unwitnessed. Now, something else to know. Cameras are all over grocery stores. Now, frankly, as a matter of course, in this day and age, in 2025, I don't know how anyone thinks that they can get away with anything. There are cameras everywhere, in everybody's pockets. People have Ring cameras on their front door. They have surveillance cameras in their homes, nanny cams. It doesn't matter where you go, people have video. There's video evidence of everything. Well, supermarkets are no different. Grocery stores have more cameras than almost any other store, and it's for this exact purpose. A ton of injuries occur inside grocery stores. So, you know that store camera has it on footage. They have it. They have footage of your injury, but they hold that footage. So after you tell a store attendant, likely scenario is that someone's going to come up to you, a store manager or front-end manager, they're going to take a bunch of information from you. You have absolutely zero obligation to cooperate with their investigation. But one thing you should always do is tell them, right there, right then, I'll give you my information. You make sure you tell them what happened and never blame yourself, because it's not your fault that this grocery store left something on the floor. Never blame yourself. Don't feel like you should be embarrassed or that it's your fault because you didn't watch where you're going. It is not your responsibility to maintain a clean floor at a grocery store. It is the grocery store's responsibility. They have whole cleanup crews to do it. When you give them the information, do not blame yourself. Ask for a copy of the report that they're filling out. They're likely filling out a form document that their store corporate office requires them to fill out. All right, the game-changing tip, they're never going to give you a copy of their incident report. So take out your phone and record them while they're asking you the questions as they fill out the incident report. Ask them on the video for a copy of the incident report. Ask them to preserve the video evidence. You have it right here on your phone. It'll be them saying, oh, I can't give you a copy of the incident report. I can't tell you where the cameras are. Right from the beginning, they are trying to preclude you from making a recovery. The game-changing tip, use your phone. Record the conversation. Ask for a copy of the incident report. Ask for copies of the video. Make sure they preserve it. If the store employee says, yes, we're going to preserve it. If the store employee says, no, I'm sorry, you can't have the incident report. That is extremely valuable information for later. I promise you, it seems confrontational, but you have no idea what confrontation looks like until you get into a litigation with the grocery store. Ask for a copy of it. If they don't give it to you, ask to take a picture of it. If they refuse, take out your phone, record the video, and say, I'm asking you for a copy of the incident report that you're taking. Can you please provide it to me? If they tell you that they're not going to, make them do that on camera. That's not going to play well for them later in front of a jury. If you can get a copy of the incident report, great. If you cannot get a copy of that incident report, at least you have that video to protect you. Ask them while you have them on camera. Are you going to preserve the video of the incident where I fell and hurt myself? Specifically, ask them where the cameras are. Try to take pictures of where in the aisle relative to your injury the closest cameras are. Ask them to preserve that video. After you leave the premises, assuming you can leave under your own power, make sure you go get checked out by a medical facility. Go to the ER, go to an urgent care facility, do what you can to preserve your rights, okay? Even if you decide not to bring a personal injury claim later or not to file a lawsuit later, at least you have protected your rights in the event you change your mind. Sometimes injuries do not appear at the time as if they are as serious as they become later. A great example of this is I had a client who tripped and fell in a grocery store, slipped and fell, I should say, in a grocery store, hurt her leg, walked out under her own power, was limping, thought she'd get better, but ultimately 2 years later, pain injections, surgeries, etc., is never going to walk the same. At the time, she didn't think she was going to do anything about it. She didn't ask for a copy of the incident report. She didn't go right to the doctor. She waited a day or two. All of these things presented problems and hurdles in an already uphill battle of personal injury litigation. Slip and fall cases are some of the hardest ones to prove responsibility for. But if you trip or slip and fall in a grocery store, I'm going to go over really quickly what the tips are now to protect your rights. Take a picture of the defect that you fell on, be it water, be it oil, be it fruit, etc. The condition of it at the time is important. Gather as much information from the surrounding people as you can, phone numbers, names, email addresses, whatever you can, because they are witnesses to your incident. Tell the store that it happened and try to get a copy of the incident report that they're going to inevitably take from you. Make them preserve the video. Tell them right in front of you. Record it if you have to. Put it in writing right there on the spot. Please preserve the video because there's got to be 100 cameras in the stores. Leave there, call your doctor, get treatment. When you're done getting that medical treatment, call an attorney. There is a massive amount of work that has to happen right at the beginning of what occurs in a slip and fall case. Those video cameras that have the footage of your injury copy over themselves, sometimes in as little as a week, usually 20 to 30 days. If you don't get a letter out to the grocery store, the corporate office, to tell them to preserve the evidence, they're gonna delete that video, and the best evidence of your injury is now gone. Poof. Don't hesitate. Call an attorney, preserve your rights. It does not require that you go any further than that, but at a minimum, you've preserved your rights. You never know how bad an injury gets later. It could affect your life, it could affect your family, it could affect your job, and all because someone didn't want to clean up a banana peel. Don't let that happen to you. Preserve your rights. If you want the good, the bad, and the ugly of the personal injury industry, come back, subscribe to my videos, and learn more.